Good morning. And I get under my cry again. I have had the unique position of being a big girl for a long time. Coaches made use of my big girl strength in high school, where I performed doing shot put, discus, and yes, even cross country. Spent a good amount of time as either doing stats or manager for various teams. But I am known as, for a long time, the camera lady. Why? Because I shot sports all through high school and my college moments. This included New York City's PSAL football champions, Midwood High School. We had our own field with a track, which meant what? We had a lot of track meets there. 168th Street Armory, Pratt Institute, South Shore. We're not going to talk about it. We'll get to that part. College, I first attended the University of Iowa. Why? Because there I could get a combined degree in not just journalism, but photography, with a concentration on what? Sports. I didn't stay there too long, but before I left there, I went and made sure I visited my friends over where Iowa State wrestling team. Okay, I went to the school that if I died today, I could get in there tomorrow, but it was still Big Ten everything, Temple University, where even if I didn't go to class, I was on the yearbook as a photographer for 3 years. I lay all this out and say one thing. I have been a voyeur to sports for a very long time. There's some who see it from in the stands, and my friends, my position was even better than the cheerleaders because I was right on the lines, right at the score, under the net, at the end of the race. I have, and this was way before I was shooting video, so I'm shooting, yes, ASA 400. Yes, either the plus or the tri, but either way. And developing. I had to develop my own film, print my own shots. Still to this day, I laugh about Carl Lewis coming across the ribbon at Penn State and me in the darkroom thinking, what the heck is scratch my negative? Only to realize it's him busting a ribbon. So I have studied athletes. I've also watched them grow and move, whether it's club athletics, looking at what middle school choices they made, what high school choices they made, what college choices they made, whether it was locally, internationally. I even had a sister that ran track on many levels. So I look at the student athlete as a person. As a person, I have had the opportunity to know what it is. So go ride that A train all the way from 168th Street, go back in a Midtown, branch up and catch me run. We got Flatbush and I go the other end and go Bushwick, and everybody will go sleep and wake up again the next morning to be at a track meet somewhere. And that's in high school. That's not with no super vans or this, that, and the other. But there were what? Coaches present. There was support. Very important. Then you switch it up to the college level. Whoo, baby. I digressed a bit. My specialties were track and field, football, soccer, basketball, swimming. Hey, Midwood High School gave me the greatest foundation for sports. Just bottom line. Temple University, baby. Bruce Aarons, John Chaney. I had access to, and my camera, that's why they upset that all my stuff gone, because all that stuff wasn't digital. It was literally film and contact sheets. I shot for the Dorenzi studio. I went around to different schools. There was a Catholic all-girls school that fell in love with me. Why? Because they brought in somebody that looked like their students to shoot their activities. So when I see folks running their mouths about athletes who are at the best of the best levels, I mean, when you're, when somebody can laugh at you because you came eighth, quote unquote, last in a heat, you're eighth best in the world. You're an Olympian. When you hear an athlete upset because they've been in the Olympic Village for 2 weeks without their coach, these are individual sports people have caught different. Olympians, when you hear about the man who a trained on airport truck, when you hear about those whose talents were identified from childhood, it's no different from what major countries have done. They just put their money where their mouth is, and they may sequester differently. When we look at, probably not the greatest example, but how some countries way back when, I won't call the numbers, spotted the talent early, went to your family, say, listen, that one's going to be good for the country. Let me borrow them for a little while. See, we're going to educate them. We're going to put them in boarding school. We're going to train them. And you're going to see them sooner or later, but they represent us, the country. Fast forward 2024. When we get to look at some of the stories of our current meddling from countries that some of you ain't never even heard of, but now you know, because they're on the map. Countries that do not have indoor courts, countries that do not have stadiums, countries that do not have even the infrastructure to support athletes' talents and dreams, and community-wise, they get together and say, this is how we're going to prepare not only the individual, but our country for the future. And this is done in many places. It's just that you don't know. And you haven't cared to know, because all you're looking at is your final measure of whether it's gold, silver, or bronze. What time have you put in writing letters of support, in showing up, in being there? Do you know what it's like to be a student athlete at grade school level who is in another country training away from your family and friends, because you learn very early as a student athlete to create a family of friends, because it's lonely roads. So I get a bit upset and unnerved when I see people who don't understand the sacrifice. And then you say, all right, your talent a bus. And you get it past grade school, you get it past middle school, and oh snap, because here comes national and international attention. Why? Because somebody who spotted your talent way back when made sure you were in a position to do what? Go get planted somewhere and blossom. Because there's an end game. The end game isn't just high school, because they're looking at what? The bigger picture. This person now has to be educated. Mind you, because you're being an ambassador from a very early age. So you now have to be educated in college, but you can't get to the right college. We didn't make sure we put you in the right high school. All this time training. So you have to prepare academically and athletically. to go in and now foster not only your dream, but other people's dreams in, again, new environments. And they have to set up these villages of support because that's what's needed. An athlete has a battalion behind them, and one of the main parts of the battalions, even if they're small, is a coach. A coach is integral to the fine-tuning, to the mental, to the emotional, to the physical outcome of what an athlete. Do you not even know the definition of a coach? Their job is to bring out the best in you. I have had the privilege, and I'm now 59. So I've been watching athletes a long time. I started shooting pictures when I was 7. I had my first darkroom at 14. So my very first pictures, printed, set up and straight, because yes, I was that girl. I was that girl. You ask them football players and track folks who was running back there in the late 70s, early 80s, and even my college folks, I was that girl. See, now you can send it through a phone. I literally had your 8x10s, your 5x7s, your 11x17s. I was there, baby. Because I'm watching the hands at the blocks. I'm watching the release. I'm watching the step-offs. I'm watching the gun. I am paying attention to not just the athlete, but the person guiding the athlete. Coach. Trainers. They embody the cheering and the boosting when everybody else can't be there. It's lonely early in the morning and late at night. Do you know the student athletes don't have holidays? You know what type of life they have as student athletes? And then when they manage to, God bless them, graduate from college and still have an eye on their sport, trying to figure out which job can I take to support myself while I still train with the goal of supporting the country either of my birth or my people's birth, so that I can go and be an Olympiad, because why, I am that high up in the world-class level of what I do. And yet some people are go pian, sit down in the comments, act like them can't even walk a mile. Put some respect on the name, the actions, the abilities, the courage, the God-given talent that has been nurtured by getting up day after day after day after day, training and forfeiting a life that someone could have never even managed to take care of. The discipline. So put some respect on the athletes' name, them worldwide. Everybody's not going to get gold, silver, or bronze. But many will also never be Olympians, world-class champions who have taken the time to chosen to represent a country. Some have been denied by the countries they were born in, but we travel. Migration has given us what? Amazing second and third generations and other athletes flying on the other lands, but we do what? We claim where their mother and father born or where their grandfather born, because for many also, it has allowed them to represent the countries of their ancestors. It's also always 2 or 3-fold. There were some who have been denied access. This team said, I didn't want you. But they want to stop you from going and competing for your people's heritage. And then you go there and kick ass with gold medals. And then they're like, oh, we was wrong on that. Well, they were sort of right, because they tried to block you. So they knew you was going to go over there and do spectacular things. Be encouraged by the teams that have 1, 2, 3 athletes total who've been training by themselves with their coaches. When I mean by themselves, I mean not inside their home countries, but living way on the other side of the world, training and doing what they do. They can represent, and for some of them, sadly, to go represent some places where I want to tell them to go kiss their ass. Don't do that. Because see, history, remember, I know, you will see some of these people and they will in time and they'll have some children and they say, well, I know what I named there, I know what I named there. And you'll question, well, why is it they didn't compete for us? Because you put their parents through hell. You put their parents through hell. And you caused, for some, to question their allegiance. So yeah, when another country happens to be where they sleep and wake up, and they go through the naturalization process, and at that point you get to check a box, and you wake up, and if you find that your talents are that which is lacking in your new country of residence or new country of allegiance, and you can qualify, you know, go down, go represent them. Young lady out of West Africa. America got that hammer throw medal because Nigeria wasn't paying it no mind. And again, you've been shown, it's called track and field. Field has always been at track. No pay it no mind. Me, I like the big girl sports, baby, because I always been a big girl. So yeah, hammer throw, javelin, shot put, discus. Look how Jamaica have a blasted gold, Olympic record, world record. Big up yourself, Stoner. And discus. So, as somebody said, man, oh yeah, tell the pity them when I'm playing rock stone, because it can lead to something. But again, we don't even look at Stoner's ability. Stoner just had a look-see with an NFL team. When I realized that the man they are got school, and is blessed for the fact that the person who volunteered for coaching the wrong at the school region and one at the top in the field, and then was say, come here at the interview and say, he came into this game late. It's not a theme thing. But training. And because he's an athlete who changed lanes, inflex, and I'm doing things. And I make you bad about the one that could have been, because no support not there. Yes, everybody, I go see what discus look like right now. I fly around Jamaica because gold medal there and bell down ring. So again, like I said, I'm partial to athletes and then let me take up my camera in the first place. Yearbook, 3 years, Midwood High School photographer. Thank you very much. Temple University Owls. Wait, hold on. Midwood High School Hornets. Temple University Owls. And in between there, yeah, baby, Iowa Hawkeyes. I'm going to ramp with this. I've been running around on the sidelines for a long time. I've been paying attention to the details for a long time. Shout out Temple University Owls. Hey, I had to babysit turtles when the brothers went on. You know, like I said, they don't get holidays. When everybody else going home, they going on the road. Put some respect on the name of student athletes or athletes on world-class level, because you, not me, can do what them do. That's why I got cameras. Cameras don't lie. But remember, Olympics, so I come again, and in between Olympics is World Champs. And in between World Champs is local spaces and places. Recognize talent, know how to nurture talent, know how to support talent. And that, my friends, will give you a champion any day. Respect yourself and respect people, because that's what builds national pride. What's the use of you are rare for one man, but you are brought down the next one? And funny thing, in my tribe brought down one who ran 400-meter races in 1 week. That was two team events and 2 individual events, all for what? Them flag. But on our course. Stop being ungrateful. Because, like them say, some people can't switch flags. I would have worries if I me, because me that turn up there and say, all right, I 3 passport, which one of them me I go work for? Have some respect for those who take the time to represent your country, no matter where it is. Because would you do it? Some of you won't even go in the military. And trust me, being a world-class athlete is akin to military life. Big up St. Lucia. They make sure my girl have what? A diplomatic passport, so she not have to stress when she in the airport. It's so little because they know she is representing their country. She's standing on business. Treat people better. Going on in the comments shows your lack of integrity, your lack of loyalty, and your lack of respect for people who've been putting the work in. My fluffy behind can't do what them do, but you let me in that stadium, I can't drop my behind. I grow and I take some good picture and shoot video. So I know I'm there. I've witnessed a lot. Encourage those who are in the game now, because athletes, what I'm saying, when you can't do, you do what? Teach. Current athletes will be coaches later. Look at the swim coach for the U.S. I went born, who people didn't come from, in born at Trinidad and Suriname people. When I win Olympic for them, go for them, and when him I get better, then make sure what? Nurture and find path. That's what's important. Nurture and find path. Well, no, make me have to go outside this morning. Because I hurt me, man. You know, they talk about people like who can't do even a pinch of what them do. Respect. Don't hurt people's feelings just willy-nilly. And God bless them with them nerves are still. Because they don't make some amount of drunk or bother them at all. And I thought, but this one boss, and they have to be. They have to be. Because someone who out there cost them, my God. What a way on a perfect. You would have been standing on the, so why aren't you standing on the podium getting the gold? Listen, respect people. Got a funny thing, keyboard is only the slightest line between us. It'd be interesting enough. You walk down a street and buck up on somebody. Why? Are you in a room and they hear a name call and somebody say, "Oi, now you a so-and-so. How you doing?" Keyboard does not distance make. It allows you the insight when the opportunity comes, because keyboard can lift up and put you right in a real life. And when you come face to face with the people where you don't cuss and malign and talk about, what you gonna do? You can't stand by your words? Or will you be in awe that they had strength, determination, and character to represent their nation on the world stage at the Olympics. World Champs Games, whichever one you want. But they got up and out of whatever corner of whichever little place that they come from. And the world knows your country's name because of them. Think about it. Peace.